Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Ashley with Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Over the next few weeks, PWI will be chatting with women who debuted on any list with the 2022 Women's 150. For this interview, I'm chatting with Jericho Appreciation Society member, AEW's Anna Jade. We're just going to chat today to celebrate your debut on any PWI list, so first I just want to say congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. To start our chat, I would just love to hear your thoughts on your year. How do you feel about the year you had?
Yeah, I feel really good about it. It honestly just feels weird that I've only been doing this for 3 years. It feels like I've been doing it for longer in some ways, and it feels like I also kind of started yesterday. So I am happy with the year I've had. I also, came back from an injury, so it was kind of weird at the same time, but I've also done a lot more this year, wrestling-wise and character-wise. So I'm really happy with the year that I've had, but I'm happy to continue to have better years.
Yeah, and you did have such a memorable year. You really swung for the fences, like you said, when you returned from your injury. So what was your mindset stepping back into the ring when you came back?
I think kind of like anyone when they have time off, like obviously when you come back, you want to be better than you were, but it's a little hard too whenever, you have an injury, especially for me. I was definitely nervous for the most part. It was challenging just because I had already had the same injury previously. So I think it was hard for me mentally just to kind of grasp the fact that I had to come back and obviously, like I said, didn't try to do better, but was also being kind of limited in some ways. So I think it's kind of taken me almost until now, and I still struggle sometimes, but just to not be as hesitant and just to kind of forget about it. And I'm still, like I said, working with that, but I am proud of myself for how I've handled it. And kind of, I've had to almost learn to wrestle on TV. So I think I've done okay so far.
Well, you've done really great. And one moment that really stands out, obviously, is that street fight that you had with Ty versus Penelope and Bunny. It's safe to say you all really took it to the next level there. Like looking back at the match, can you share your thoughts? Did the match change your approach to wrestling since?
Yeah, in a lot of ways it was, well, first off, we all four really gave it our all for that match, and it's definitely probably my favorite match I've ever had up until now, and that was the most fun that I've had ever in a wrestling ring. I would say approach-wise, yeah, it kind of makes you a little bit more fearless just because that match is, more intense than almost a normal match. But if I could have those every week, I probably would. That was the time that I'd ever had.
And, of course, over the course of the year, you've turned your focus to the TBS title. You took part in the tournament for it. You challenged Jade twice for the belt. Are there any plans to continue to fight for that belt or even, the women's world?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, the TBS one I've had really a time with. Of course I would love to wrestle anyone who's champion. Maybe I'll wait until someone beats Jade, though, to challenge for the TBS one again. But yeah, I would love to challenge for the world champion or the women's world championship as well. I'd love to wrestle Toni Storm. She's someone I've always wanted to wrestle. So yeah, I definitely would. Like I said, maybe give the TBS one a break. Maybe I'll go for the women's one next.
Yeah, and as well, we've seen the return of TayJay since you've come back. Now that you're both part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, are you planning to team more?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Obviously there's not like really a huge tag division for the women's, so it's a little harder to obviously compete weekly with tag matches. But yeah, I think we definitely will. I think, part of me joining JAS was definitely so I could do that. So I think that's definitely in the plan for the future. And at least I think we both hope so. I think we're both wanting that.
Yeah. Speaking of JAS, a lot of fans were surprised at your decision to join the group. Sorry. Why did you decide to leave the Dark Order and then side with this group?
Well, I'll start off by saying, I'll always love my Dark Order guys. But, it's kind of one of those things where I could never turn down an opportunity to work with someone like Chris Jericho. He's someone who's probably the most talented person I know in the wrestling business. So to work with him is really an honor and something I've never thought I would be able to do. So that's the main reason I would say. And then also, like I said, to be able to tag with Ty again and have TayJay still be in the ring. So I think those are the main reasons. But yeah, Chris Jericho, he's great, and I am so happy that I get to work with him.
Yeah, and he has a lot of experience. Does he sort of have a hands-on with training?
Yeah, I mean, as far as training, maybe not hands-on in ring, but like as far as everything that I do that he watches and gives me critiques or tells me what I did good or tells me what I did wrong or what I could do better, that's always the case, and that's with all members of JAS, so it's been such an honor to be able to have that.
Yeah, and I mean, he has one of the best heel characters, I think, and,
Yeah.
Fans were super surprised that you turned heel, but you seem to really come into it. Is that, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I like doing that. I think it's a little fun to play someone maybe who I'm really not. I don't think I would say I'm like that in real life, so I think it's really fun, and it's also something different to do and to challenge myself. So I'm really glad I've been able to do that, just because to change characters is something, that's not maybe the most easiest thing. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's challenging me, and I've loved every second of it.
It's really neat to see two women as part of the group. I mean, what are your future goals as a member of the society?
Oh, well, I would love to, and this is going to be my answer probably always until it happens, but probably to win some gold myself and to bring it back to the group. That'll always be my goal, to be some sort of champion in the company. And it's going to happen one day. So I would say right now that is definitely a goal of mine.
Yeah, and you're progressing so quickly, so I would guess it's probably going to happen soon.
I hope so.
Yeah. Just to close out the chat, there's so many new additions to the division since you've been there. What are just your overall thoughts of the women's division? There's so many strong women on it, and just as a member, what would you say about the division in general?
Oh yeah, that we are doing great as a women's division. There's always challenges for women as wrestlers, and there might always be, but I think that we do well in handling every one of them, and I think that we kill it every week, and all of us work really hard, and that's a testament to how much we do love what we're doing. So I'm very proud of it. I think it's doing amazing, and I think that we're working hard, like I said, every week, and it's getting better and better every week, and I think that shows, and we're just going to continue doing so. We're all really motivated in the locker room, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it's growing every day. It's so impressive to see. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever you decide to do in the future, we know you're going to absolutely kill it. I mean, 3 years in and you're already just a star.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to me today, Anna. It's always nice to see a fellow Georgia peach. I'm from Decatur, which I know is like opposite ends of Georgia, but it's always nice to talk to somebody from there.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So PWI cannot wait to see what you do next. And again, I just want to thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you again. I appreciate it.
You can purchase the digital copy or pre-order the print copy of the Women's 150 issue by visiting pwi-online.com. Issues will hit newsstands November 15th. Follow PWI on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @officialPWI. Be sure to tune into AEW every week to support Anna Jay and the rest of the AEW crew. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and we'll see you next time.